What's up? Homeless Plumber here to deliver you some Newsgenics. We'll be covering a Game Informer article, the new Dan Giesling gameplay, as well as the Woocash podcast, and showing off elemental interactions, events, and breeding mechanics. And if you don't know anything about Mewgenics, you could watch my intro video or hear it from the makers themselves.
Come with me and think. We're going to all think together. Isn't something that you would have come up with in your mind. Hoardery type, lots of things, more things, board games. I'll plant little seeds. I have a mutation room, and that's as far as I go. Yeah, I've done PCP. I need a second brain. Like if I were to throw something at Tyler now while he's doing stupid, dumb shit, it's not like I think it's correct. I don't think it's not correct. It works. Advanced ones are literally advanced because they are advanced. And like Tyler mentioned, like the advanced classes are advanced. Fat girl will eat all the food. Fat girl will, you know what I mean?
Great
or
example.
you'll drop.
You breed dogs and you take them on adventures.
Good enough.
To start, let's look at some of Edmund's commentary on environmental interactions, as well as some direct examples from Dan Giesling's stream.
And Tyler was like, well, let's do like actual elemental combinations in the world. And that's where I think the core of the depth of the game started. Where we were starting, it literally started out with like fire lights plants on fire and it burns.
Yeah.
And then it spreads.
Here we see a unit getting frozen into an ice block, which is not damaged by a basic attack, but simply pushed a little ways. Note that the blocks on the way to it are also frozen.
But it also froze the water. So he will
Right here?
slide.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's going to be these kind of like random interactions that happen every time you play.
Every elemental interaction you would assume would happen happens.
Okay.
Right here we can see that the mouse jumps on top of a mage with the fire aspect passive, which makes the attackers become inflamed.
Okay.
But since it's on an ice block, it melts it, then dropping the mouse into the water and putting him out. You can start to see some of the interaction chains that could happen right here. Then we can see water in the form of spit hitting grass and growing it.
You might want to mouse over that bomb.
Oh, I just froze it. Is that going to be...
Oh, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know. I have no idea what's going to happen. I've never frozen a bomb before.
Okay.
Here we can see that the frozen bomb is diffused because of the melting ice. Likewise with the whirlpool putting out a bomb. And by the way, what a cool ability. I don't remember seeing any footage of it so far, and that kind of unique crowd control is awesome to see.
Oh,
Yeah, like,
all right there.
If you try to hit all the bombs, if you try to hit all the... Well, him too, I guess.
Let's see what happens. Okay, that's good.
Next we have an overview of events that can happen in your run and the plethora of results.
But let's
And if
listen.
you as you mouse over, you can see the stat that it is going to be tied to. It's a skill check. So this would be a strength skill check. That would be an intelligence skill check. And every one of these results will have either a really bad result or a bad result or a good result or a really good result. And then within those, there's variables as well and different pools and stuff like that.
Because I want to see
Go
what
with
happens. Yeah.
I want to see what happens too.
The tape recorder spins and a strange howling emits from the speaker.
For corner now, there's a little hand. Oh, I had a fucking robot uprising, and all these robots came down and killed all my cats. Or like, I did this. I got this monkey paw, and it just killed my cat. You know, I don't whatever. Right? There's an item that allows multiple weather events to happen. They don't usually happen. You rarely see two at once, and beyond that, it's extremely rare. But if it's snowing and it's raining, your cats are going to freeze solid.
Again, he mentions these kind of logical interactions that work the way you would expect them to, even if it is to your detriment. Next, let's see some discussion of breeding and house gameplay mechanics, which I have not touched on in my own personal coverage much so far.
But every cat has an aggression level. It has a libido level. It has an attractiveness level. They can fall in love with other cats. They can hate other cats. They can have an inbred level of whatever. Their sexuality is also on a spectrum. So they can be bisexual. They can be gay. They can have no libido and be asexual. All of these things come into play. And in the beginning of the game, it just looks like a bunch of cats humping. or not. And you don't know what the fuck's going on.
Breeding has a lot going into it behind the scenes. And after all is said and done, you can start to see children taking on their parents' skills and stats, as well as potential for disorders and mutations being transferred, some of which Edmund as well as Tyler have been sharing on Twitter. From malaria synergizing with a necromancer, a cat that has spawned over 100 cats with some odd mutations and looks alive, even in death with an odd fake eye mutation. Looking at some specific disorders, depression. It's pretty bad for you, but even worse for those around the cat, but could go on a tank and make your enemies too sad to perform by getting in the middle of them. Gambling addiction gives you a higher odds of critting, but also gives you a chance to miss, which you do not have by default. Maybe you could get multiple attacks per turn and you might be able to ensure that it is worth it, as a poorly timed miss might be worse than the net damage increase. Perhaps one of the weirdest ones I've seen is triskaidekaphobia, which allows you to pay no mana costs, but after casting 13 spells you automatically die. Perhaps another necromancer and or cleric synergy? The main way of manipulating breeding is to get furniture which will make your cats more comfortable, docile, or more friendly with each other, so that they might breed more and lend down more powerful abilities. Though it can also go in the opposite direction. So let's look at an example of that from Ed and Tyler.
You start being like, oh, this cat killed its mom. It was a hyper-aggressive, psychotic cat, killed its mom, got +1 strength. I'm going to class that one as a fighter. We're taking it on an adventure. Mom killer, the mom killer is now, it happens to be named like crazy girl or something,
One of our testers did go hard on this strategy. They had a whole cat fighting ring room where he would just throw fodder at a strong cat that would just keep killing cats to gain stats before taking it out on an adventure.
Such a gamble though, because that cat could go down.
Yeah, that cat could
everything.
also lose a fight. That's definitely rolling the dice on that strat. But if it gets strong enough, then it's...
I will personally be making a nice space for my cats, but if you choose to, you can make a gladiatorial home to strengthen your champions should they not fall in battle. Or if you're a true psychopath like Dan Giesling, you can leave your cats out to starve so that the ones you want to mate are isolated with only each other.
Let's roll the dice and see.
There are not enough food. Some cats are... Okay.
They're starving outside. You just don't know the inner workings yet here. Oh, yep, they're starving to death.
Wait, is that dead?
This is harsh. Jeez. Oh my God, Dan, what are you doing? Why are you doing this?
You made this. I'm just clicking buttons.
There we go.
The
cats will... Oh, there they go. There they go.
Super cat.
It does make you wonder, though, how good a cannibalism-related trait might be. Regardless, though, let's move on to the Game Informer article, which came out recently. It briefly mentions a few unseen abilities, but the most interesting thing in the article was mention of side quests for Dr. Beanies. Up till now, we've only heard a little bit about side quests from Edmund, but no specific information. It appears that NPCs will send you out to do some specific task for rewards, in Dr. Beanie's case, his inventions that you will help him make. Apparently the first is a baseball bat that lets you charm people. I don't know if these are simply powerful items or if they will have plot implications, but apparently Dr. Beanies himself has 20 plus inventions for you to discover via side quests. Alrighty, time to wrap up with some positivity. Sometimes it can feel like you're the only one struggling, or like you're going at it alone. Just try to remember that everyone has their own insecurities and plights. It can be hard to get out of your own head when you're in a bad place, but people do care for you, even if they don't express it directly. Reach out to someone if you're struggling. And reach out to someone if you see them struggling. Hell, just reach out. Everyone needs support, and those who you find a connection with might need it more than you know. Thank you for watching.